As you know, GATT stand for General Agreement of Trade and Tariff, which was formed in the year 1948. And this GATT continued till 1994. And then in 1995, WTO came. WTO stand for, what is the long form of WTO? Anyone? What is the long form of WTO? Anyone,
World
please?
Trade Organization.
Yes, World Trade Organization, which was formed in the year 1995. Now, in examination, if you are asked to write a note, either GATT or WTO, so this slide will be useful for you. Or another question, if you are asked, differentiate between GATT and WTO, or show the difference between GATT and WTO. So please remember this 4 point. If you remember this 4 point, you can differentiate very well. So let's understand the first difference between GATT and WTO. GATT, whereas there were two aspects, and which were the two aspects? One is body and formulator of agreement. Body and formulator of agreement. Whereas in WTO, there were two functions. And which were the two functions? One is trade policy review, and another one is built-in mechanism. First is trade policy review mechanism, and second one is built-in mechanism. So this is the first difference between GATT and WTO. Again, I repeat, in GATT, there are two aspects, and in WTO, there are two functions. And which are those two aspects in GATT? Yes, which are those two aspects in GATT? Body and formulator. विसरू नका, लक्षात ठेवा, body and formulator. And WTO मध्ये there are two functions: trade policy review mechanism and built-in mechanism. Second difference, GATT, मी जसं तुम्हाला मगाशी सांगितलं, it started from 1948 because we got independence in 1947. बरोबर ना? आपल्याला स्वातंत्र्य 47 मध्ये मिळालं ना, 1947. बरोबर ना? Hello? We got independent in the year 1947. So from that year, from 1948 till 1994, GATT was ad hoc and provisional. Means it was temporary. Ad hoc म्हणजे काय? Temporary. Provisional म्हणजे temporary. So it was ad hoc and provisional. Whereas WTO, their agreements were permanent. So please note this second important difference. GATT agreement was provisional, whereas WTO agreements were permanent. Are you understanding? Are you following this second difference? समझला का second difference? समझला का second difference? Hello? Speak out. Speak out. Did you understand second difference?
Yes, sir.
So what is the second difference? Yes. What is the second difference between GATT and WTO? GATT agreements were provisional and WTO agreements?
Provisional.
Yes. WTO agreements? WTO?
Permanent.
Yes, WTO agreements permanent. and GATT agreements were provisional. So this is the second difference. Third difference, in GATT, there were contracting parties. One GATT was making agreement with they were making contract with the party. Whereas in WTO, the members were given this facility. Means first you have to become member and then facility. So this is third difference. And number 4, GATT was controlled by power lobby. Now, can you guess which was the country who was having that power and who wished to control? Anyone? Any guesses? In the world, each country, that country wants to show their power. असा कुठला देश आहे जगामध्ये की तो प्रत्येक वेळेला पॉवर दाखवण्याचा प्रयत्न करतो? येस,
America.
hello, correct. USA. So USA, very correct. So USA is the country who wanted to show this power lobby, and it was it happened also. They always try to control this GATT. Whereas in WTO, there was a democracy. So the majority, as per the majority, decisions were taken in WTO. But GATT मध्ये तसं नव्हतं. Whatever USA feels, decides. So generally that way it was happening. But in WTO there was a democracy. म्हणजे majority प्रमाणे decision व्हायचे, not as per the minority. So this is all about difference between GATT and WTO. So from this examination point of view, it's very, very important. Always questions are asked on GATT and WTO. Please do remember these 4 points. And if you remember these 4 points, elaborate your answer with the help of this point. And you can explain very well. So anything you want to ask? So anything you want to ask in respect of GATT and WTO? Difference between GATT and WTO? Yes, please. काही डाऊट आहे का? Any doubt? Okay, no doubt. Now we will go to the next point, and that point is major regional trade agreements. Because this both GATT and WTO, they were making different agreements for the international trade. So, what were the major trade agreements? Now that part we will see. Am I audible? Am I audible? Am I audible, please?
Yes, sir.
Now we will discuss the major trade agreements which were made by GATT and WTO. So, the first agreement. What is the title of this PPT? What is the title? Yes, please. What is the title?
Intellectual property right.
Intellectual Property Rights, IPR. In short, it is known as IPR. Now, this IPR, this is also one of the regional trade agreement. Again, from the examination point of view. And for knowledge point of view also, everyone must know these agreements, which are internationally known. There is a significance at international level. And because of this international significance, at local level, it is very popular. Because whatever innovation are made by human being protected. So their innovations are protected. No one can copy their innovation, and their benefits cannot be steal, cannot be taken away. त्यांनी जे काही इनोव्हेशन केलेलं आहे, जे काही संशोधन केलेलं आहे, त्याची चोरी कोणी करू शकत नाही. त्यांना मिळणारा जो काही आर्थिक फायदा आहे तो कोणी त्यांच्याकडनं घेऊ शकत नाही. सो रिअली दिस IPR right, one of the best, and this is the outcome of this WTO and GATT. Now, what is this IPR? IPR, which refers to the idea. Now, suppose a particular person, if he invents a component for automobile, for car, and that component, if it is useful for fuel saving, if it is saving fuel, diesel, petrol, then naturally people like to buy that component because it is saving petrol and fuel. So that is his or her idea. And with this idea, they do some innovation. You might have seen in the pandemic period also, during Corona time, many students from engineering, they did some research because that time school, colleges and everything was closed almost for 2 months, and then everyone was inside the home. But there were some youngsters like you, they did research. You might have seen this kind of, you might have heard this kind of news. Did you heard this kind of news during Corona time through TV or any other mode, social media? So even in general term also, if a particular person is having idea or a discovery and invention, so such invention, discovery, idea can be protected through this IPR. त्याला आपण संरक्षण देऊ शकतो. And this can be commercially exploited. म्हणजे ज्याने संशोधन केलेलं आहे, ज्याची ती आयडिया आहे, तो त्याच्यापासून त्याला आर्थिक लाभ मिळू शकतात. दॅट इज कमर्शियली एक्सप्लॉयटेड. त्याला जे काही तो त्याचा बिझनेस करू शकतो त्या आयडियाचा. ते सेल करू शकतो तो, अँड ही कॅन अर्न आउट ऑफ दॅट सेलिंग आयडिया. So don't you think it is very useful for individual? It is beneficial to the individual, or it is not beneficial to the individual? What is your opinion? Is it beneficial to the individual, or it is not beneficial? Is it beneficial to the individual, or it is not beneficial? What do you think? Yes, what do you think? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? येतो का माझा आवाज? Hello? I am asking you, this is useful for the individual, or it is not useful to the individual? What say? It is useful to the individual. प्रत्येक ज्याने कोणी इन्व्हेन्शन केलेलं आहे, कोणी डिस्कवरी केलेली आहे, त्या सगळ्यांना हा IPR जो आहे तो खूप फायद्याचा ठरलेला आहे. It is useful. Another characteristics can be transferred between parties licensed to other parties. So this can be transferred between parties licensed to other parties. And the fourth one is IPR comes into existence after an application has been made or registration obtained. So once you register, then IPR comes into existence. आधी application करावा लागतो. And after making application, the registration number is given. And from that day onwards, IPR is come into existence. And that particular person enjoys the benefit. Now, continue the another one. Components. What are the components of IPR? So there is a patent. These patents are new and innovative technology. And this patent, the duration is 20 years. समजा एखाद्याने काही संशोधन केलं आज, तर त्याला आजपासून पुढची 20 वर्ष त्याचा जो काही आर्थिक फायदा आहे, बेनिफिट आहे, तो त्यालाच मिळतो 20 वर्षापर्यंत. अँड देन आफ्टर 20 इयर, म्हणजे मग काय होतं, आफ्टर 20 इयर देन इट इज ओपन देन. मग त्याचा कोणी वापर करू शकतो, त्या माणसाला तेवढा त्याचा उपयोग होत नाही. तो पेटंट हे 20 वर्षापर्यंत देण्याची आता सध्या तरी व्यवस्था आहे. समजलं का पेटंटचं? पेटंट किती वर्ष पेटंट? हॅलो, पेटंट सुरुवातीला किती वर्षाचं देतात? 20 वर्ष. ओके. Patent is given initially for 20 years. So patent is given for 20 years. But after that, another supplementary certificate for next 5 years is given. So almost one can protect his or her invention for 25 years. म्हणजे त्याचे दोन भाग आहेत 25 इयर्सचे. पहिले 20 वर्ष, नंतर एक्सटेन्शन बेसिसवरती पुढचे 5 वर्ष. So this way he can enjoy the benefit. नंतरचा component आहे trademark. Now trademark, patent, these both are assets of that individual or maybe of company. कधी कधी कंपन्या पण करतात पेटंट, त्यांचे ट्रेडमार्क असतात. तर ते त्यांची एक प्रकारची ती असेट आहे. Why it is asset? Because they earn money out of this asset. That is why it is asset. जे कोणी रिसर्च केलं असेल ते रिसर्च ते विकतात आणि त्याच्यापासून ते पैसे मिळवतात, त्याचं इन्कम असतं ते. दॅट इज वाय इट इज asset. So trademark, legal protection to any brand name. जसं आपण आता समजा there are every company, Tata Motors or Reliance, LIC, कुठल्याही कंपनीचा बघा एक ट्रेडमार्क असतो. ट्रेडमार्क, डिड यू ऑब्झर्व ट्रेडमार्क? देर आर पर्टिक्युलर सिम्बॉल असतात ते, आणि खाली कॅश लाईन पण असते. कॅश लाईन, त्याला आपण कॅश लाईन म्हणतो. इवन इफ यू टेक डेली बाथ सोप, जे आपण आंघोळीचं साबण वापरतो, से फॉर एक्झाम्पल डेटॉल, तर डेटॉलची पण एक कॅश लाईन आहे. व्हॉट इज द कॅश लाईन ऑफ डेटॉल सोप? व्हॉट इज द कॅश लाईन ऑफ डेटॉल सोप? हॅलो, व्हॉट इज द कॅश लाईन ऑफ डेटॉल सोप? Be 100% sure. For every product almost, there is a symbol, and below that symbol there is a cash line, and some message is given to the customer. तर त्याची कॉपी कोणी करू शकत नाही, त्याला म्हणतो आपण ट्रेडमार्क. अँड लिगल प्रोटेक्शन त्याला दिलं जातं त्या ब्रँडला. तर त्याला म्हणजे त्या वस्तूचा काही शेप असेल, कलर असेल, अँड इट इज फॉर 10 years. It is for 10 years. Okay. So read this and then we'll move to the next one. Everyone read this. Hope now everyone has read this slide. Did you complete reading? Did you read this slide? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
So did you read this slide?
Yes, sir.
So do remember, patents initially it is given for 20 years and then on extension basis another 5 years are given. So total period is 25 years. Whereas trademark for 10 years. Trademark for 10 years. Now, so this was about IPR. Now let's go ahead. Yes, is it visible, PPT? Is it visible? Now, another component of IPR. आतापर्यंत आपण कुठले कुठले बघितले component IPR चे? What are the components we have studied so far? Yes, what are the components we have studied so far? IPR चे कुठले?
Patent.
Yes, patent and trademark. We studied patent, we studied trademark. Now we are studying design. So design is also given protection under IPR. Design, that also matters a lot. If you observe any product, there is a particular design, and that design should not be copied by other. Now you might be thinking, sir, how this then this design can be protected? Now, when there are some consumable daily product, so for that product, it is very difficult to have a specific design. Say for example, soap. Generally, soap shape we know, sabna's shape. Either it is round shape. What is another shape of soap? Shape of the soap. Round is one. Another one is hello. Square shape. Square. साबणाचा आंघोळीचा साबण. एक तर तो राऊंड मध्ये असतो किंवा स्क्वेअर मध्ये असतो किंवा रेक्टँगल. हे दोन तीनच त्याचे शेप आहेत. त्यापेक्षा असा काही वेगळा काही त्याचा शेप नाही आहे. अँड देन एव्हरी कंपनी, मोस्ट ऑफ द कंपनी दे फॉलो दॅट. तर अशा काही गोष्टींमध्ये डिझाईन आपण फिक्स करू शकतो. बट डिझाईन कुठे येते? से फॉर एक्झाम्पल बाईक, तर बाईकची जसं डिझाईन, से स्कूटर. आता आपण जर बघितलं तर स्कूटर मॅन्युफॅक्चर बाय बजाज, स्कूटर मॅन्युफॅक्चर बाय हिरो होंडा, अँड स्कूटर मॅन्युफॅक्चर बाय TVS. So there is hardly a very minor difference is there. But if someone is coming with a new design of a scooter, so that new design can be protected under IPR. तो जर काही वेगळं काहीतरी डिझाईन आणत असेल तर इट कॅन बी protected. And this design is being protected for 25 years. तर त्याला पण आपल्याला IPR च्या खाली त्याला संरक्षण आपण आणू शकतो. We can protect. Then Next one is copyright. Copyright which prevents for the reproduction of original. कोणी त्याचं रिप्रोडक्शन नाही करू शकत. Say for example, book, story. If you have written some story, कथा लिहिली असेल कोणी, so that story cannot be reproduced. म्हणजे एकदा तुम्ही समजा लिहून काढली स्टोरी on the pages, and that same story either cannot be print or it cannot be used for making film or making some serial, TV serial. That is called reproduction. If a TV producer or film producer, if they want to use that story for their making of TV serial or film, then they will have to take permission of that author. कारण त्याच्याकडे ते कॉपीराइट असतात. But author should copy long back, 30-40 years. But nowadays, even authors are also well aware. So there is awareness among authors and public also. And because of this awareness, that is why this IPR is getting popularized. दिवसेंदिवस याची पॉप्युलरिटी वाढते, लोकप्रियता वाढते त्याची, because of this awareness. So copyright generally for literature, even copyright for software also, software like say Windows, then Excel. So these are the software. आणि जे काही विंडो वगैरे, so these copyrights are with Microsoft company. Microsoft. तर तुम्हाला लायसन्स कॉपी घ्यावी लागते. So for that purpose you have to pay some more money, and there are pirated software available in the market. जे फ्री मध्ये मिळतात, pirated software. But pirated software can be used for at a personal level, not at official level. Official level, if you are using, you should have a licensed software. Licensed software. Copyright, pirated software cannot be used at an official level. If someone is using, then that organization can be charged fine. So this was all about intellectual property right. Now, हा आपण एक trade discuss केला. What was the name of that trade? We are discussing major trade agreements. This is the point in our syllabus. Syllabus मध्ये काय दिलेलं त्याने? Major regional trade agreements. तर आपण एक डिस्कस केला. कुठला डिस्कस केला आपण? IPR. What is the long form of IPR?
Intellectual property right.
Yes. Now we are going to the next one. याचा short form आहे TRIP. TRIP. TRIP stand for Trade Related Intellectual Property Right. हा दुसरा agreement आहे. एक झाला IPR, आता TRIP. IPR आणि TRIP हे दोन्ही सेम नाही आहेत, वेगवेगळे आहेत. हा पहिला फरक लक्षात घ्या. These are the different agreement. नाहीतर तुम्हाला वाटेल इथं पण इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राईट आहे, तिकडे पण इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राईट, सो सेम आहे. तसं नाही आहे. हा ट्रेड रिलेटेड आहे. आपण आता जो डिस्कस करणार आहोत, दिस इज ट्रेड रिलेटेड. आणि तो पहिला जो होता, इट वॉज टोटली इंटेलेक्चुअल बौद्धिक, ज्याला होता आपण बौद्धिक संपदा, त्याला मराठीमध्ये एक शब्द आहे बौद्धिक संपदा हक्क. जे आपल्या डोक्यातून, आपल्या ब्रेन मधून जे आयडिया येतात डोक्यातून, दॅट इज IPR. आणि हे ट्रेड रिलेटेड इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राईट आहे, ट्रीप. आता हे काय बघा, under TRIP, patenting has been extended not only plant varieties but to the large area of microorganism as well. Microorganism. आता हे थोडेसे, this is little bit biology term. There are many plants are also invented. Plant. So says plant variety. There was a lot of controversy for the basmati rice. त्यानंतर there was also controversy for the turmeric. India was claiming that this turmeric plant is our innovation. आणि ते खूप वर्ष इंटरनॅशनल लेवलला त्याचा वाद चालला. And then finally this right given to the India for turmeric. कारण आपण याच्यावरती बरंच संशोधन केलं होतं. How this turmeric is useful. Now, there is also innovation is going on aloe vera. Aloe vera माहिती आहे ना? aloe vera. aloe vera ला काय म्हणतो?
कोरफड.
कोरफड, करेक्ट, कोरफड. तर कोरफडीवरती सुद्धा खूप संशोधन करतायत भारतामध्ये. And even foreigners are also following that kind of innovation. And in our India, there are some group like say Patanjali, Baba Ramdev. So their group have done a lot of research on aloe vera, which is useful for healthy hair, then skin and whatnot. त्याचे केसांसाठी पण त्याचा उपयोग आहे, स्किनसाठी आहे, and there are many things. So this is प्लांट ॲलोवेरा. आणि मग त्याच्यातून जो काही ज्यूस एक्स्ट्रॅक्ट केला जातो मायक्रो ऑर्गॅनिझम, त्याचा ज्यूस मधून ते प्रिपेअर मेडिसिन, आयुर्वेदिक मेडिसिन. अँड तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना माहिती असेल की पतंजली इज डुईंग ह्यूज बिझनेस on the basis of this aloe vera. So this microorganism, which refers to the very small forms of life, like bacteria, viruses, fungus, small plant. जसं तुम्हाला आता एक्झाम्पल दिलं स्मॉल प्लांट. डू रिमेंबर aloe vera juice. Remember this. So this is trade related intellectual property right. आता याचा ट्रेड काय झालेला आहे, पतंजलीने ॲलोवेरा वरती बरेचसे मार्केटमध्ये त्यांनी प्रॉडक्ट आणलेत की नाही पतंजलीचे प्रॉडक्ट बेस्ड ऑन ॲलोवेरा. पाहिलेत का तुम्ही कधी? ऑब्झर्व केलं असणार आहे तुम्ही. सगळ्यांना माहिती आहे आता पतंजलीचे काय काय प्रॉडक्ट्स आहेत ॲलोवेराचे. आणि नॉट ओनली पतंजली बट company like Unilever, they have also युनिलिव्हरचे पण आहेत. युनिलिव्हर सुद्धा याच्यावरती खूप काही प्रोडक्ट आणलेले आहेत ॲलोवेरावरचे. सो दिस इज ट्रेड रिलेटेड इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राईट. नेक्स्ट लाईन, पेटंट्स इन ऑल द 3 fields. आता कुठले 3 fields? ऍग्रिकल्चर फील्ड, फार्मास्युटिकल अँड इंडस्ट्री, बायोटेक्नॉलॉजी. ऍग्रिकल्चर जर तुम्हाला एक्झाम्पल दिले मी, डू रिमेंबर ॲलोवेरा. अजून काय काय आहे बरं ऍग्रिकल्चर मधलं पेटंट की ज्याच्यावरती बरंच काही त्याच्यात आता बिझनेस चालू केलेला आहे. आवळा ज्याला म्हणतो आपण मराठीत आवळा. तर आवळ्यावरती सुद्धा so आवळा which is the agricultural produce, but so this patent particularly in 3 fields: agriculture, pharmaceutical and industrial biotechnology. Now what is this industrial biotechnology? Any example? Industrial biotechnology, can anyone give me example from this industrial biotechnology? Industrial biotechnology, कोणी देईल का मला एक्झाम्पल? There are also patents in industrial biotechnology, and it is happening in India at a very faster pace. तुम्ही जर ऑब्झर्व केलं असेल, few years before there were only 3 streams were there: art, science and commerce. And in science there was physics, chemistry, maths and water. Now there is also another biotechnology. This particular stream is being invented. आहे ना बायोटेक्नॉलॉजी? सायन्स मध्ये आहे की नाही बायोटेक्नॉलॉजी स्वतंत्र अभ्यास? So there is a separate degree for biotechnology. Then microbiology. So this way, this trip can be explained. Now, from the examination point of view, if you are asked, discuss various regional trade agreements. असं जर क्वेश्चन आला, डिस्कस व्हेरियस ट्रेड अग्रीमेंट्स, तर पहिला IPR, सेकंड एक्सप्लेन करायचा ट्रिप अँड रिमेंबर दिस 2-3 पॉइंट्स अबाउट ट्रिप. नाव वी विल डिस्कस द थर्ड अग्रीमेंट. आतापर्यंत आपण 2 डिस्कस केले. कुठले कुठले 2 डिस्कस केले? येस, कुठले कुठले 2 डिस्कस केले आपण? IPR नंबर 1, आणि आता कुठला डिस्कस केला आता राईट नाव? ट्रिप. विसरू नका, लक्षात ठेवा. Now next one is, now before we go to the next, let's complete this trip. Now trip is highly weighted in favor of patent holder. जो कोणी पेटंट होल्डर असतो, that trip is having very high weight. There was also one movie. In that movie, they have shown one component which was useful for vehicle, two-wheeler, automobile sector, and the hero, the artist was Makarand Anaspure, who acted in the film De Dhakka. You might have seen this Marathi movie. Just 1 second. So in that movie, this innovation was shown by Makarand Anaspure, and then how you might have seen that movie. So I'm just giving you example to make you understand. Then this trip protect interest of MNC and developed countries. So this is another use of trip which protect the interest of multinational companies and developed countries. So benefits are given to them only. So global economy under domination. आणि ज्या कंपनीकडे याचं इनोव्हेशन असतं, दे कॅन डॉमिनेट ग्लोबल इकॉनॉमी, कारण त्यांच्याकडे ते इनोव्हेशन आहे. नॅचरली दे विल सेल देअर प्रॉडक्ट अँड दे विल अर्न मनी. सो दिस इज नथिंग बट द डॉमिनेशन ग्लोबल इकॉनॉमीवरती. समजलं का? ट्रिप समजलं का? व्हॉट डू मीन बाय ट्रिप? व्हॉट इज द लॉंग फॉर्म ऑफ ट्रिप? Please, what is the long form of trip?
Trade related intellectual property right.
Yes, please do remember this point. Now we will go to the next agreement at a regional level, and that agreement is TRIM. Now this TRIM, long form of TRIM is, please everyone listen this long form, trade related investment measures. The long form is trade related investment measures. T stand for trade, R for related, I for investment, M for measure. What is the long form of TRIM? Yes, please. What is the long form of TRIM? Yes. What is the long form of TRIM? Trade related investment measures. Okay. No, let's understand. Investment म्हणजे तुम्हाला माहिती आहे सगळं. Investment. It is all about at international level foreign exchange. Drain of foreign exchange reserve of the developing countries. Undermine of any plan or safety of self-reliant growth. Adverse affecting on balance of payment. Now let's understand this TRIM. TRIM agreement on balance of payment. TRIM agreements on balance of payment eliminate the identified measures even if there is justification to maintain them on broader macroeconomic and strategic consideration. When applied to the developing countries, the provision of TRIM agreement will most likely have the effect of undermining any plan of self-reliant growth, and that is based on technology and other resources available locally. It could also prove drain on the foreign exchange reserve. And the example is FDI. FDI stands for foreign direct investment. Now, how India is, let's talk about our country, India. As far as India concerned, it has a large reservoir of highly skilled and experienced professionals in this trade related investment measure, like engineer, doctor, scientist, computer, and software experts. Thus, free movement of natural persons would be to its benefit. However, movement of natural person has been restricted by many of the developed countries. So developed countries assured almost everything they wanted from the TRIM. तर डेव्हलप कंट्रीने याचा खूप काही बेनिफिट घेतलेला आहे फ्रॉम दिस स्ट्रीम. In order to make the agreement balance from point of view of the developing countries, it was necessary to formulate international rules for controlling restrictive business practices of foreign investors. However, the TRIM agreement is totally silent on this vital question and is concerned mainly with provision of elimination of trade-related investment measures, which are designed to protect the interest of foreign investors, particularly MNC. So this was all about the TRIM. Now we are almost at the end of session. So before we end today's session, in case if you have any point to discuss, you are free to ask, else we will end the session. So today we cover IPR. The topic as per syllabus was, let me read out the topic from the syllabus. It was major regional trade agreements. Major regional trade agreements. This was the topic. So under this major regional trade agreements, we discuss IPR, then we discuss FLEEP, then TREAT, so do remember, if you ask descriptive question, mention this point. So anything you want to ask, any point? If no point, we'll end our session. Thank you all. Have a good day. Bye.